Hi, super readers. My name is Captain Comprehension, and I'm here to help you as you become comprehension detectives. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest, Sergeant Science, who will help guide us in our reading adventure today. Welcome to episode 56, where we will read Shark Lady by Jess Keating and Marta Alvarez. Today, we will read the true story of Eugenie Clark, a girl who dreamed of becoming a scientist to study sharks. But sometimes when people dream of becoming something, and that could be anything, they may face some challenges. So let's read and discover the obstacles Eugenie Clark faced to become a scientist. And look here, boys and girls, this is the real Eugenie Clark. And yes, that's her with the sharks. So before we read the story, let's go over some important vocabulary words that are going to better help us understand the story. Our first vocabulary word is reputation. Reputation is the opinion of people have about someone or something based on their past actions. A synonym of reputation would be character or opinion. An antonym of reputation would be unimportance. En español decimos reputación. So if you look here, boys and girls, in this picture, a person can have, or a thing can have, either a really good reputation for being nice and kind to others, or they could have a bad reputation for being unkind or mean or ferocious. Our next vocabulary word is zoology. Zoology is the study of animals and their behavior. A synonym would be animal science. En español decimos zoología. So if we look here in this picture, boys and girls, this is Eugenie Clark studying an animal. So that makes her a zoologist. Now it's time to put your knowledge to the test. In order to participate in this podcast, please scan the QR code on your left-hand side or type in the URL. Let's begin with the first question. What is the meaning of reputation? Is it A, the condition of being known for something? B, a level of education given by a university or college? C, the study of animals and their behavior? Or D, being mean or a monster? Don't forget to check your answers in the Google form. Great job! Now our next vocabulary question is, what meaning of zoology is used in this story? A, the study of the ocean. B, the study of animals. C, the study of plants. Or D, the study of insects. Don't forget to check your answer on the Google form. So now, the moment we've been waiting for, it's time to read the story. It was Saturday, and Eugenie wanted to stay at the aquarium forever. She wanted to smell the damp, salty air and stare at the glittering rainbow of fish. She wanted to keep watching her favorite animals, the sharks. Eugenie pretended she was walking on the bottom of the sea. What would it be like to swim with her sharks? To breathe underwater with gills of her own? More than anything, she wanted to find out. When the summer came, Eugenie's mother took her to swim at the beach in Atlantic City. Stuffing sticky gum into her ears to keep the water out, Eugenie dove down, down, down. The salt stung her eyes, but she didn't want to miss a single fish. Constellations of sea stars speckled the pebbled sand. She imagined a silvery fin standing strong on her back, slicing through the ocean current. To others, sharks were ugly and scary. But Eugenie knew they were beautiful. As she glided through the cool water, she wished everyone could see sharks through her eyes. But the sharks were only in her mind for now. Eugenie decided to learn everything she could about them, so she dove. This time into books. Whale sharks, nurse sharks, tiger sharks, lemon sharks. Eugenie wanted to know about them all. She also joined the Queens County Aquarium Society as its youngest member. Eugenie's notebooks filled with sharks. They swam in her daydreams and on the margins of her pages. At home, Eugenie's mother surprised her with an aquarium of her own. A 15-gallon tank was too small for sharks, but Eugenie saved her allowance to buy guppies, clownfish, and coral red snails. It felt as big as an ocean in her room. Their small apartment became an aquarium, a laboratory, and a sanctuary. As she grew older, many were still telling Eugenie what to do. Forget those sharks. Be a secretary. Be a housewife. Eugenie wanted to study zoology, but some of her professors thought women weren't smart enough to be scientists or brave enough to explore the oceans, and they said sharks were mindless monsters. Eugenie knew better. Her dream was as big as a whale shark, so again, Eugenie dove. She plunged into every course she could. Her laboratory became her home. From sunrise to sunset, she studied how fish grow, how they behave, and how they were put together both inside and out. Despite all of the people who didn't believe in her, Eugenie was becoming one of the smartest students in her field. Even after she earned her degree, many still doubted her. But Eugenie's work was just beginning. Eager to make discoveries of her own, Eugenie finally dove into the open ocean. In the Red Sea, Eugenie collected hundreds of fish, including 3 new species that had not been discovered before. On a research mission exploring the Palau Islands, Eugenie was diving alone when she encountered her first ever wild shark. She wasn't afraid. Instead, she thought it was beautiful. In Isla Mujeres, she dispelled the myth that sharks must keep moving to stay alive when she swam through dark caves, still and silent, full of resting sharks. Eugenie's daring heart grew bolder with each dive. Soon they began to call her Shark Lady. Eugenie had proven she was smart enough to be a scientist and brave enough to explore the oceans. As her courage grew, she began to love and understand her beloved sharks more and more. But she never forgot, many still believed, sharks were mindless killers. Because of their scary reputation, humans were hunting sharks all over the world. Eugenie knew that sharks weren't stupid or mean. She was determined to prove everyone wrong. Eugenie fished through her mind and devised a brilliant experiment. Could she train a shark the way a person trains a dog? Were sharks much smarter than anyone knew? They were. Eugenie was the first scientist in the world to train sharks, and even learned they could remember their training for at least 2 months after. Sharks were not mindless killers. Sharks were beautiful. Sharks were smart. They deserved to be studied, protected, and loved. And Eugenie's dream was now a dream come true. What a beautiful story, boys and girls. It was so inspiring. Now that we've read the story, we have to identify the text structure of Shark Lady. Now remember, boys and girls, there's little signal words that can help guide us to identify the text structure. So throughout the story, we saw wanted to study zoology, who didn't believe in her, thought women weren't smart enough to be a scientist, and that sounds like a problem. They said sharks were mindless monsters. That also sounds like a problem. Determined to prove everyone wrong. That's registering in my brain as a solution. Dreams come true. Smart enough and brave enough. So with these signal words, don't forget to use your text structure bookmark to help guide you. So now it's time to test our knowledge again and identify the text structure. So what is the text structure of the passage? Is it A, comparison, B, cause and effect, C, problem and solution, Or D, cause, problem, and solution? Don't forget to check your answer on the Google form. Okay, boys and girls, now it's time to write our main idea. And the text structure for this story was a cause, problem, and solution, so be sure to use this sentence step to write your own main idea. For my main idea, I wrote that the cause is that people didn't think women could be scientists. And the problem is that people didn't believe Eugenie could study sharks. The solution is that Eugenie becomes a scientist. Now that we've written our main idea, it's time to answer our multiple choice main idea question. What is the best main idea for the selection? A. People didn't believe women could be scientists that studied sharks. However, Eugenie proved them wrong and became a scientist. B. Eugenie Clark wanted to learn everything about sharks by reading books in the library. As a result, Eugenie wanted to study zoology. C. Eugenie's professors did not believe in her and told her to become a secretary or a housewife instead of a scientist. Or D. Many people thought sharks were mindless monsters because of their scary reputation. Don't forget to submit your answer A, B, C, or D. Now that we've written our main idea, it's time to construct our summary. When we're writing our summary, we need to think back to the main idea and add a supporting detail to each part. That means we will add a supporting detail to the cause, the problem, and the solution. So this is my summary. The cause is that people didn't think women could be scientists and sharks had a scary reputation. The problem is that people didn't believe Eugenie could study sharks, and sharks were being hunted. The solution is that Eugenie becomes a scientist and proves sharks are smart by training them. Now that we've constructed our summary, it's time to answer a multiple choice summary question. What is the best summary of the selection? A. Eugenie decided to learn everything about sharks by reading books and studying them in the ocean when she became a scientist. As a result, she discovered 3 new species of fish and showed she was brave. B. Eugenie faced challenges when she was studying to become a zoologist because people did not believe in her dream to study sharks. This led to her working hard in her laboratory to become the best in her field. C. People didn't believe women like Eugenie could become scientists, and sharks were being hunted because they had a scary reputation. As a result, Eugenie became a scientist and proved sharks were intelligent by training them. D. When Eugenie went to the aquarium, she wanted to see the sharks. She wondered what it would be like to swim in the ocean with gills of her own. As a result, she wanted to become a scientist and discover new species of fish. Don't forget to submit your answer A, B, C, or D. Now, boys and girls, it's time for us to infer. When we infer, we get clues from the text, what we already know, to generate our inferences. So what can we infer based on this question? The author wrote the story mainly to A. Persuade the reader that sharks are not mindless monsters. B. To explain to the reader how Eugenie discovered new species of fish in the ocean. C. To entertain the reader with a story of a girl who loved to explore the ocean. Or D. To inform the reader how Eugenie overcame challenges to become a scientist. Pause and think about these questions. And don't forget to check your answer on the Google form. Our last question is, based on the details in the story, what can the reader infer about Eugenie? A. She felt sad that people doubted her becoming a scientist. B. She was determined to prove people wrong and follow her dreams. C. She wasn't interested in becoming a scientist till later in her life. Or D. She enjoyed working with all types of animals in the aquariums. Pause and think about these questions. Fantastic job, detectives! I hope you learned something new about Eugenie Clark and how she overcame challenges to follow her dreams and become a scientist to study animals in the ocean. Until next time, super readers, this is Sergeant Science signing off.